Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. On this particular YouTube channel, I want to create a video on the Claude Certified Architect Foundation. It's going to be a 12-week program that I want to create for everyone that wants to sit for the Claude Certified Architects program. And I have downloaded the examination guide and then created a curriculum out of the examination guide released by Anthropic. What I want to do in this particular video is to walk you through the curriculum, the 12-week blueprint for the Claude Certified Architect Foundation. So let me walk you through what we are going to be looking at in this 12 weeks program that's going to prepare you for the Claude Certified Architect Foundation. Alright, so this is a 12-week program. What you need to know about this examination is that there's the Claude Code configuration and workflow, which makes up to 20% of the examination. And then we have the prompt engineering and structure approach, which is also 20%. Then we have the agentic architecture and orchestration, which is 27% of the examination. And we also have the tool design and MCP integration. That makes up 18% of the examination. And lastly, we have the context management and reliability. That also makes up 15% of the examination. So this is the makeup of the examination. Now for the first week, which is the first one, we are going to be laying the foundation, which is we are going to set up the local development environment, secure external tool discovery, which is the connector model context protocol MCP, and the built-in tools that's in Claude. Then we have the infrastructure, that's the Claude platform and message batches. Then we have the model, that's the Claude Sonnet and Opus. So we'll be looking at the Claude ecosystem stack. What's make up the ecosystem, that's the MCP, the built-in tools that they have, the message batches, the Claude platform, the models that they have. We'll be looking at all that in the foundation phase. Then the second week, which is the phase 2, that's the structural frame. In this part, we'll be looking at the agentic loop, which is we'll be looking at the mastery of the agentic loop and then programmatically infection via SDK hooks. So this make up 27% of the examination. We look at system requests, payload initiates, stop reason, to use, to execution, results return, and turn. We'll be looking at all that because this make up 27%, which is part of the orchestration exam domain. Then also in phase 2, we look at multi-agents up and spoke. We look majorly on the up and the spoke. We look at that. We look at coordinator. We look at every other agents, task agents, tool agents, and in phase 3, we look at the model context protocol architecture. So we look at tool discovery, resources discovery, model context protocol, how to undo MCP error, the transient validation validation and business rule. Then also in phase 3, we look at the tool distribution and scope. We look at tool scoping and privilege, which are principle of least privilege. Then we look at the inputs output schema, is how you are going to design your schema. We look at the we are going to consider the bad tool design and good tool design. And next in phase 5, we consider the context life cycle. We look at precision protein generation, validation gates, models output and raw payload, structure output, system and user prompts, field shots, libraries. Then we also consider the difference between system and the user prompts so that you understand basically what are the difference between the two. In phase 6, we consider the context management and reliability. We are going to dive into context window management, workflow escalation. We look at provenance and attribution. Under context window, we are going to consider tracking token budgets, how you are going to monitor your token, mitigation, woman in the loop, workflow grades, claim source, temporary data. Those are the things we are going to consider in phase 6. And in phase 4, we are going to consider Claude Code configuration. The configuration for Claude Code, we look at your Claude.md file. What are the things that you need to put in your Claude.md files? The import, the scales, the CI/CD workflow. We are going to consider all that. And then diagnostics matrix, which we are going to be consider the execution mode, primary use case, scope of change, risk level workflow. We are going to consider that too. And also in phase 4, we look at the CI/CD pipeline automation. That's endless execution, Claude Code, CLI, then trigger, pull, request initiated, text generator, security scanner, peer review agent. So an automation workflow, which is a CI/CD pipeline automation. So we are going to have a peer reviewer agent, text generator agent, and security scanner agents. Then we also consider system X-ray, that's support resolution, capstone, that's the capstone project after the CI/CD pipeline automation. The phase 2 is orchestration, phase 3 is MCP2, phase 6 is escalation. So in phase 2, we are going to make use of everything we have learned in phase 2, agentic loop. Then in phase 3, the MCP loop, we make use of what we are learned in agentic loop. And also in phase 6, the escalation, woman in the loop, in case something goes wrong for our support resolution agents. Then the final inspection is that the assessments contains mock exam 1, mock exam 2, mock exam 3, which are 60 questions. So if at the end of the video we are going to look at mock examination 1, 2, and 3, I will strongly encourage you to go through the mock exam. Then we have scenario-based assessment, customer support agent, research gates, Claude Code workflow, and CI/CD automation. Those are the scenario-based agents that they expect you to know how to build. What you need to consider if you are ready for the exam is, can you build agentic loop and multi-agent system? Can you configure Claude Code and CI/CD integration? Can you design MCP server and built-in tools? Can you implement structure validation and retry pipeline? Can you design escalation workflow and preserve provenance? Can you do all this? If yes, you are good to go for the examination. Alright, so this is just to walk you through the context of this 12-week program that we are going to be going through on this particular channel. And every week I'll be dropping the video for each of the week. If you have not subscribed to this channel, click on the subscribe button to subscribe and click on the notification button so that you can be notified whenever I drop the videos. And also share this with your friends, with your colleagues.